We had just dropped 10 Commandments, so I knew I was ready to start like another body of work because like I work fast. So like I have bodies of work really just sitting. So we did 10 Commandments. I had that ready in 2016, 2017, and we didn't drop it until 2018. So we started to work on Poverty Stricken by mistake. Me, my manager Ray, and Pay Cash, my producer. We went to meet him to actually get beats because he wanted to work. So when we sat down, he played me 5 beats and I did all 5 songs in one night, like literally in a few hours. So like that sparked the whole idea of, all right, well, come on, let's just do a project now. Like we in the vein of working now. So let's, get a body of work did. My most memorable studio session was me creating, it was 2 records. It was me 3 actually. It was me creating Diller, the second half on 1994. And that was actually the last record that we added onto the project. But the most memorable for me was my 3rd verse on Letter to the Game. Like I cried when I played that back in my studio. And I'm very intimate with how I record. Like I don't like a bunch of people in the studio with me. Like I'm very intimate with my writing. And I write from emotion. So when I wrote that 3rd verse to Letter to the Game, man, when it actually settled in and I played it back, man, I cried like hard because I lost my uncle in the midst of creating this project. I'm more involved on a post-production. So I'll tell producers, whether it was Justice League, PSA, or like my in-house producer and my executive producer, Pay Cash, I let them know how I feel. And as they create, if I'm in the room while they're creating, then I tell them, oh, add this, or here, let's try this percussion instead of this kick, or, so like I'm very hands-on when it comes to my production because I write out of spirit and emotion. So like we said, music and spirituality goes hand in hand. It's frequency and energy at the end of the day. So certain instruments are going to invoke a memory, maybe like how you get in 1994. Like that production took me to a place when I was a child and I wanted to tell that narrative. 10 Commandments was done in 2016, finished. Like I added 1 new record in 2017 right after my uncle passed. But everything else was done already. For me, I held 10 Commandments back because I knew what that body of work entailed. And I wanted to drop it in the right climate. I didn't just want to drop it because I'm buzzing and I really want people to understand more than anything where I stood spiritually as a man first with the Most High. And I wanted that body of work to be my first fruit. Like I didn't want to come out the gate with a Poverty Stricken first and then years later you figure out my spirituality or who I am as a person. I wanted to drop 10 Commandments at the time that I dropped it because it made the most sense and I prayed on it. So like you said, when you walk into your purpose, it naturally happened. Like I had been sitting on the work. We were doing freestyles and building the buzz up. And I got the date in my head. I'm like, yo, this when we dropping it. Let the album rollout start. And, it was very successful.